Good Wednesday morning. Wow. And welcome to Ice Age TV. Hey, guess who's home? Keeper's back. Wow. Look at the property. Good Lord. You go away and what happens? Oh my God. Good Wednesday morning there. I'm back. Yeah, Kiefer's back, can you tell? And thanks for all those who watch my channel. It's just too much going on, man. Till 2 a.m. and here's the property. And as you all know, 3 weeks ago, Thursday, tomorrow morning, I left. 3 weeks ago, Wednesday, today, I packed everything up to leave. Oh my gosh. So we've been gone for the most part 3 weeks. And look at the property. Yeah, it's in a shambles because I've been gone. That's what happens when you leave and you have property. But it's been really dry up here because the grass, as you can see, it's got a lot of brown in it. And it's not as crazy as I thought, if you know what I mean by that. But, oh my gosh, look at the collection of the cars. Who the heck lives in this place? I mean, sincerely, even for me, coming home and walking over here and just looking at all the freaking vehicles I have. Yeah, unbelievable. Yeah. Am I married to these things? I am. Long ass day, man. If you watch my video that I published probably like 2 in the morning last night of the kid in the last stretch coming home, it was brutal. She was hemming and hawing, crying, and it was no fun. And as you can see here in the trailer, the bikes are still standing, thank God, because when you roll down the road in these trailers, a lot of things going on back here, and the tires didn't blow out, and it was basically 100 degrees all down there in Georgia. 100 degrees out, and that's sometimes a little nerve-wracking. You get these type of tires, can they really hold the speeds that I do? But here's the Colorado Explorer. I even forgot that I owned an Explorer. I mean, there's so many things you kind of forget about because it's out of sight, and then it's just out of the mind thought process of the collection of the Iceman's vehicles. Wow. Oh my gosh. And then here's the camper. The poor camper's been abandoned, and got to get that back in order. The plants we bought, those are all dead. And so, but anyways, here we are. And look at this. My boxwood's dead. Man, it's really been dry apparently. And I just called FedEx Freight. And I can only hope and pray that my supercharger box is still there. Because I got to go out there to the Winchester FedEx Freight terminal and pick up that extra part to get the project on that thing. That's a whole other project. But look at the collection. It just doesn't end. Even for me, being away this long, even for me, the Fireblade, I kind of really didn't forget about it, but the Fireblade, I mean, oh my gosh. The Talon, it's just beyond unbelievable. Yeah, my nuts. And then the Honda Monkey and the truck and trailer. Oh, yeah. That truck hauls ass. That truck is so much fun. It really is. I mean, even if somebody called me today and said, I can get you on Raptor R for $100,000. I'd be like, yeah, you know what? I mean, sure, it'd be awful tempting, but that truck is just so much fun, and it just sounds so good. So, but that ain't happening. I can promise you that. The Raptor R, $100,000. That market's not there yet. Look at all the bees, the wood bees, the carpenter bees. I've been working on my garage for years. Nothing new. Here's their whole other collection. So for all those that stay in tune with my channel, even for me, walking back to my shop, my Triumph. I mean, it's just like, wow. It's just so much stuff. Too much stuff. That's the problem. And how do you get rid of it? I don't know how I could get rid of it without having to go broke. Come on, Keith. I don't want you up there because these guys aren't excited about you right now. Come on, Keith. Come on, Will. So let's keep you down here. No, let's just keep you down here for a minute, okay? Because the other guy, the gang, isn't excited about you being back home, but he's excited, and look how thin he is. So the trainer Amanda, the breeder, she gave him a good workout, that's for sure. And up here, it's interesting. It's not the same as Florida, the humidity factor, but it is warm. I mean, it is humid. Look back here. So yeah, in hindsight, I kind of wish I would have brought the Harleys down because we'd have done more long distance riding. And that's the thing. Here's my pool. I had high hopes on a pool. Yeah, that hasn't happened. Because it rained and rained and rained and rained, and I just kind of didn't. It's just too much going on. It's always too much going on if you watch my channel. But the one thing for sure about these Honda motorcycles, the Honda Goldwing, great touring bike. After a twin, I'm sure this would be pretty good. But once you get to these crotch rocket style bikes, no way. My daughter and I rode down there in Florida one day for a good amount of time, and eventually I was just like, that's it. I'm done. My daughter was so wanting to go on a bike ride from my parents' house in Florida all the way up to way past Crystal River, near Chiefland, if you know where that is, up there on the west coast of Florida, to the Manatee State Park. And she so wanted to go up there, and I was just like, there's no way. On those Honda bikes, there's no way. It's a 125-mile road trip one way. So it's a 250-mile road trip. There's no way my body would last. But if we'd have taken the Harleys down, then yeah, for sure, we would have done that. Maybe. It's a long day, and it's me being gone all day from my parents' house. So I don't know if that would have played out, but this definitely would have been these bikes, the bikes to ride. Everybody knows it's a motorcycle enthusiast. These are the bikes to ride. So now my kid technically has two really badass Harley Davidson bikes. The Lowrider SD, that really is a badass bike. And we do have such a collection right now of the Harleys that I feel is a really nice, diverse collection. And I just think, wow, yeah, the Breakout. I mean, some ways I was sort of taking the Breakout down, but it's all about the timing, getting things out of here to go to see my mother, who I really had to go visit. And the good news is, my mom's actually up and about, getting around more than she's gotten around at all. So my presence down there really did help. I feel like, I could be eating my words down the road, but I feel like some things that I was able to do and get others involved with the healthcare community, that it's got my mom maybe on a new, hopefully on a new path that she can do more than she realizes. So for me, from that trip, if my mother starts picking up weight and I start hearing stories, my mother's up and about in the kitchen and she's actually walking around, and that would be a really great accomplishment on my behalf, which I think would be great. But who knows? At that age in life, just one little thing can change things very quickly. And so for the camper, yeah, my wife was asking me last night when we were coming home. She's like, I got all your sheets clean and the bed's ready to be made up. Are you in the camper or in the house? I was, nah, we better go to the house because the camper's going to be very hot. You have to turn the AC on, and who knows, but, just no way. So first night I've slept in my house, believe it or not, and since I bought this unit. So 2 months. 2 months since I've actually slept inside my house. And what's so crazy is my wife and I had a big major argument years ago about the addition of this home that I built on the back side where my master bedroom is, and it was too many windows. But she wanted all the light in the room and blah, 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 and I've talked about it before. But what happens is I wake up so early in the morning because all the light shines in that room. And I know I can replace all those blinds with darker blinds. You know how much money that is? You know how much work that is? I did all that stuff. So here we are on the back side of the property. But what I was going to say is I get deeper sleep in Florida where my parents' room is. It's dark. I get deeper sleep in the camper because it's so dark. That I wake up because it's just so light. All right, so here's the pad for the pool. Now, can I get motivated to even, right now this pad is pretty okay. I was always wanting to kind of fill it in, get a little more leveled out. And look at this, now the grass is already taking over. And then all the pool stuff, it's all pool stuff, so it's going to be outside regardless. But the whole pool project went nowhere. So this, when do I have time for this? With me right now having to pick up all the pieces of all the stuff going on in my business. And look at the grass and the field, the weed whacking. Yeah, but you can definitely tell. I can just tell, look at everything, it's dry. So we're having a dry summer up here. Before I left, it was raining all the time. So great road trip, safe-wise. Didn't really have any radical close calls. And the kid, for the most part, enjoyed it. But it's always that last 2 hours. If you watch my video, the second part of the Great Race Home, part 2, you'll see we get into that Richmond area. Look at the poor Dark Horse crapped all over. Just doesn't end, man. The bird crap, but nothing like it was. A poor car, yeah, that thing's trashed. It is. You got too many cars like I have. There's no way you're going to be able to keep all these cars in pristine condition. Unless you're Jay Leno and you got millions of dollars and buy a warehouse and park his stuff in there, then pay people to clean everything. Could have taken the F-450, which could have, and the 4-bike trailer, but it's just too much stuff to do and get the hell out of here. So there's just, anybody who really follow my channel knows that it was basically a chaos. Grab everything and go as fast as possible, as my mother was not in good shape. So it was very crucial I get out of here as quickly as possible, just for those kind of seeing what's going on. And it's interesting on my channel on how I don't think my content populates to a lot of people. I think there's people out there who probably say, you know, I just don't see your postings anymore. And I wouldn't. I'm sure that's happened. Look at the Camaro Z28 trashed. Cars, yeah, but they're inside. It's material things. But the thing about life is, even if your car is all nice and shiny and pretty, go to the car dealer, go to the motorcycle dealer, and do they really give you all this money for your pretty, clean, shine vehicle? They don't. They don't. But I tell you what, last night, it's the truckers. The truckers are everywhere. I was down at the last stop at a Sheet station down in near Fredericksburg, Virginia, and the Sheet's gas station was swamped with truckers getting fuel. And the parking lot was full to the brim. All the rest areas full to the brim, overflow. So it's really incredible on how you hear so many saying this economy's not really what it is. But I drive up and down the Eastern Seaboard, man, and I go to Tennessee, and it's just the same old story. There's just truckers everywhere, and truck stops are full, and I mean the list goes on and on and on. So I don't know. I think if it actually was more busy, how the hell would these truckers even having where to park their trucks? How would they even get in and out to get fuel? So yeah, but the roads were definitely light per se, but the Richmond to home is always a challenge. It's always a challenge because that's the last leg of our trip. And it's totally opposite from Florida. When we go to Florida, the last leg of the trip is pretty much open highway driving all the way to my parents' house, and it's huge high speeds. It's the Indy 75 of the West Coast of Florida, where it's 100-mile-an-hour driving. You can do 80, 90 miles an hour all night long. And for the most part, the police do monitor it, but they know it's a racetrack, and I think a lot of them probably would rather not have to pull people over to that road at nighttime. And they do, but for the most part, everybody's in a pack doing 85, 90 miles an hour. So you haul ass. And this truck and trailer, it'll go 90 miles an hour. I mean, it'll go 90 miles an hour. It'll go 100, but then you get the back end trailer starting to dance, and that gets way too dangerous. But solid 85 mile an hour driving in that truck right there, no issues. It just rocks. And so we make really good time. But the traffic flow, if you really drive the main roads, the 70 mile an hour posted limit is an 80 mile an hour driving speed for most people. So you're just hanging with the traffic overall. Didn't see a lot of police. We did coming back in. It's interesting on my main road up here in this area. There was a few cops kind of hiding around the corner, but I knew where they were, but we weren't doing crazy things at that late at nighttime. But overall, good road trip. The truck was down to 7.5 miles per gallon because that's what happens when you go 80, 85 miles an hour in your Ram Hellcat TRX. That Hellcat motor and that truck, to me, that's the real deal. I mean, they should have put more Hellcat motors in trucks than the cars because the truck is so much fun and it's such a really working engine. I mean, it really is sad that Ram didn't get more creative on offering that Hellcat motor instead of stuffing them in all these damn Chargers and Challengers and then creating a flooded market of those cars back in the day of 2016, 17, 18, where they just flooded the market with too many Hellcat cars. I mean, that's a fact. I'm very knowledgeable and abreast of that because I've owned the cars since the fall of 2015 till present day, and Dodge overbuilt the product and they flooded it. So it's so sad that they didn't get creative and offer this Hellcat setup motor when you didn't have to make a racing suspension to compete with the Raptor R or the Raptor. They just offered that Hellcat motor as a 2500 Ram setup, even a 3500 Ram setup, the 1500 Ram setup, a two-door 1500 Ram setup. I mean, it's such a shame because this motor, if you watch my video, this thing just screams, and it's so much fun listening to this supercharger wind down the road as it's working to pull, and it's at higher revolutions. One of my subscribers is like, I can about guarantee that thing has no carbon buildup after you've driven this damn thing, Mr. Iceman, because I just run the hell out of it. And the motor is strong. And I don't have a problem with this damn thing hitting 3,500, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 RPMs. Just, you know, runner as we pull her down the road. And the exhaust note. So the whole point is, for Dodge, they were foolish of not taking that motor, which now is no longer available, and offering it in more options of vehicles. But yet the mindset is the 5.7 liter Hemi, you know, and all the freaking 1500s. Oh my God, boring. And then the 6.4 motor and the 2500 and even 3500, boring. Hellcat motor, you dumbasses. You guys are so stupid. Instead, you get, we got all these Hellcat motors sitting around, and we got to stuff them in every freaking Dodge Challenger and Charger that we can, and yeah, blah 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 blah, and then just start giving away stuff to move product. Yeah, what a bunch of morons! These guys that run these car companies, how do we get the job to make millions of dollars to be a dumbass? I mean, sincerely, don't you think that? Doesn't it just make we're in society today that a guy like Jim Farley, even Tim Knuskis, I was so ashamed of that guy when he got out there and he was jumping up and down about the Banshee Daytona. I'm sorry, man. This guy's a huge Ice Age. You know, different for me for being an Ice Age TV guy. That all of a sudden I just start getting rid of all my Ice Age vehicles, and then I'm jumping up and down on every EV vehicle I bring home. Eventually, you guys would be like, screw this guy. This guy's a total. You know, he's a traitor. So for me, Tim Knuskis, with him stepping down, I truly believe he's stepping down because he's embarrassed. Because so many people called him out for being the guy that gets excited about an electric vehicle. There's a Kirby truck, dual front steering dampener, still doesn't take care of the problem, Kirby. Kirby, if you're listening to me, should have never got rid of my Tremor truck for that truck. That was a mistake. Hey, I'll be the first to raise my hand and tell people I make mistakes. Yeah, I do. I'm not the smartest of the bunch. I mean, look at that Jeep over there, the value of that. I mean, it really is going to be interesting to see the doomer gloomers, and down there in Florida, they swear up and down that it is over beyond over. So it's really going to be interesting to see where everything's going on, like that Jeep Mojave, $64,000 vehicle, brand new. Trade value, is it at 30? Is it a $30,000 vehicle? For the Ford Explorer, $50,000+ vehicle. Is this now a $25,000 vehicle? I mean, sincerely. The Super Duty trucks, I can't see those getting hammered too bad. The Raptors are definitely adjusting. But now they're saying that Ford has so many Broncos. I can remember when I just couldn't wait to get my Bronco. Waited a year and a half to get one. Now the dealerships are flooded with these things. They can't get rid of them. The Ford Lightning truck, they might as well just come and repo this. I mean, in all sincereness, I'll never, ever make the payments on this thing ever to meet its value. I mean, that truck's probably right now worth $40,000 at best. Yeah, I mean, and sincerely, I talked about this a while back on the repossessions. You know, do I just raise my hand and just, it is what it is? And then what happens is, in some ways, it does me a favor. Because you know what it does? I can't buy stuff anymore. And that just puts a whole stop to the game of my constant addictions of buying stuff. And that happened back in 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12, because my credit was destroyed from going broke back during the big 2008 collapse, and I couldn't really buy anything. So in so many ways, it did me a favor. So in so many ways, sometimes I think, you know, the debts, the burdens, what's the values, the Harleys. I mean, sincerely, we know. Let's go to the Harley Davidson conversation. This $44,000 vehicle, I'd be willing to bet that I'd be lucky to get 32 from a dealer right now. I'd be lucky. This the Fast Johnny. I bet you this thing's worth about 22 to 24 grand, maybe trade value. Lowrider ST, probably about a $15,000 motorcycle. Triumph Rocket 3R, I think this would probably be, it wouldn't be radical. This is probably worth 15, 16. The Breakout, oh, it's definitely a $14,000 value vehicle. But yeah, this is a $22,000, $23,000 vehicle. This is a $23,000, $24,000 vehicle. So you kind of start taking the numbers, and on the motorcycle side, you could kind of say that you're looking at 35%, 40% losses. Average Twin, she'd be all right. The Goldwing, yeah, she'd be worth less, but it wouldn't be radical. The Corvette here I bought used, so the value of this is probably within reason of what I paid for it. I paid 62. I'm sure it's worth every bit of 60, would be my guess. 58, it can get soft. The Camaro Z28, I'd have to say this is worth, in my book, it's worth $60,000. Is it worth 50? It's possible. It just all come down to if the true radical economy, as everybody's preaching, really doesn't play out. But once again, I was down there in Florida, and I just don't see the for sale signs everywhere. Even though I told you the other day that apparently there's a lot of houses for sale. I don't know. Does anybody really know? I mean, sincerely, on my channel, does anybody really know if it's really factual that the car dealerships really are probably getting ready to file bankruptcy because they can't sell cars? I mean, I don't think that's the case, but does anybody know? I mean, sincerely, I just love to hear comments, because that's, as I talk about my channel all the time, of these material things that are around us, it's the constant gloom and doom of the material things we have around us, and which so many of us sacrifice our lives to have. I mean, so many people go to work every day of their life and strive to be able to buy something that they want to have pride and joy in. And typically for the men, it turns out to be a car, a truck, motorcycle. And women do it too, but it's more favored towards the men. So to me, these cars always have a value to success, to somebody that strives to be better in life, and they want something that makes them feel good. But yet at the same time, the irony to it is, it makes so many people go broke. It creates havoc in relationships. And then it's the main theme talk of the economy, of what's going on with the economy, of what, is driving things. The Colorado, I think the Colorado looks so much better than the Ranger Raptor. I mean, I'm sorry. Anybody out there has a Ranger Raptor? Hey, I think they're cool trucks. Do I think they're better in some ways? I do. But the looks-wise, I'm sorry. No way. No way. I'm sorry. Your Ranger Raptor is not that great looking of a vehicle. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, what do? We all buy things because our eyes, it's the eye candy. It's what makes you feel good about your purchase. And I just feel like the Colorado package, in so many ways, is just a more fun truck. Never have put my mud flaps on that thing. That needs that. That'd give it some character. All right, I got a very busy day. I'm slammed. Yeah, did I get like 4 hours of sleep last night? Yeah. And back to routine, get the kid going, and just want to make another video to keep things going, because that's my goal on my channel. Keep things going. And now I have an Uncle Sanchez. So Mr. Sanchez is now calling himself Uncle on my YouTube channel, because he was the guy that said your daughter should ride the Fast Johnny, which in so many ways, just put a lower seat, but it's hard for me to believe and get much lower in that seat than it already is, and put her on that. Yeah, right. That'd be common sense, wouldn't it, Uncle Sanchez? So, and once again, there's so many people out there, Don, who always weighs in on his ideas and thoughts, and Roger and Brian and Brett and the help desk. I'm just thinking out loud here. The Hoods, Charles, and I won't get everybody. The Muppet Master, Puppet Master. There's just so many cool subscribers out there that watch my channel. I'm just trying to throw names out there. So, and if I miss somebody's name, it's just because my brain's just not functioning to give you everybody's username. And, Metallica, Corporate Busa. I mean, these are all people that on a regular basis. Mr. George P. bought a Harley Davidson. I don't know if he bought the Harley Davidson supercharged truck or something. I don't know. I just didn't see it. So sorry, George P. Just too much going on in my life, especially with family down there. And there's a lot going on down there with my family. So it just gets too personal. But it takes away your focus, and it just is challenging. And it's very challenging for me in my life at this time for all the things that are going on around me that just get too personal and too in-depth, which I just can't share, because if I do, the wife then gets very upset that I'm just sharing way too much information. But yeah, things are very challenging right now, so we'll see. As time progresses, we'll see. It'll be interesting to see if the artwork stays around. We shall see. Very challenging. That's all I can say. And then to have my mother not good help. My dad was in tears yesterday as we left, because we have such a close bond. And, you know, it's very emotional, very challenging, because I'm so far away, and it's so much work. And I know a lot of people say, just jump on an airplane and go down there. Yeah, I know. But when you get down there, just like when I got down there, I was so kicking myself I didn't bring the Harleys. Because the Harleys would have given us more riding time and more fun. The Hondas just aren't for that. The Honda Goldwing is. So the problem is you get down there, it takes away the fun time. You know, driving around my nice Ram TRX, going down to the boat, or taking my dad to the store, the kid having the Charger. I mean, so you lose all that fun time. So then it turns into you fly down, and it's just a visit for a few days and leave. I'm just not going to do it. It's just too short a time. So I'd rather pack everything up and go through the agony and pain and suffering of all the driving, all the work, and actually have fun time when we're down there. And I still have the accommodations to, you know, make that work. So anyways, that's it. I got to go. Thanks so much for watching my channel. Stay tuned for more adventures, stories, conversations. God bless. Have a great day.